Hello everyone. In this lesson we want to go ahead and import data from a CSV file, a flat file. Let's see how we can go about doing that one. I'm going to close this Excel one from the previous lesson, and I'm going to start my import export wizard again and choose next. From the drop-down source right here, we're going to select to import from a flat file this time. Alright, let's browse for that file, which is sitting under SQL Server. Notice it doesn't show up because it's looking for TXT files. I can choose CSV or all files and get my file. Now it's already detected that column names are in the first row, which is fine. It is delimited, which is correct. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the columns. It seems like it's doing a fine job bringing them in. Under Advanced, unlike the Excel one, this one is selecting the output column width to be 50 by default. So let's go ahead and accept that. Let's preview it, and it looks okay. Let's click Next. What do you want to push this to? Well, I want to push it into SQL Server provider for, OLEDB provider for SQL Server. We're going to put this in the test database which we created in the previous lesson and click Next. It is going to go from this source. I'm going to create a DBO 021 CSV data. Let's go ahead and edit our mapping. It all looks good, and click OK and click Next and run it. Okay, let's see, finish. And okay, so we got an error message this time. Let's click on messages and see what's going on. We have an error, data conversion failed, email return value, status 4, etc. Text was truncated. Well, there is an email in this whole thing that is longer than 50 characters. So if I actually go back in the setup, in the advanced, and choose the email and change this from 50 to 100 characters, I'm going to click Next, 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 and Finish. And this time the package should run properly. Alright, so we got one warning message here. Let's see what this is about. Truncation may occur due to inserting data from data column email with a length of 100 to a data column email with a length of 50. Okay, so a truncation probably occurred here. It is saying that it doesn't know that one is larger than the other. I mean, the transfer was done correctly. It's just letting you know that there was a difference in file sizes. Well, with that in mind, we have transferred these rows. Let's choose Close, and I'm going to refresh the tables. So we now have a new table. This one doesn't have a very beautiful name, but it is working. We can always rename it, of course. And it all looks just fine. I am going to right-click this and rename it to CSV data. And I will also right-click and rename this to simply Excel data. So it's a little bit nicer to look at. While we're over here, let me go ahead and close this. Let us also go ahead and take a look at how we could potentially import that flat file directly from SQL Server. So I'm going to right-click Test and choose Tasks, Import Flat File. Notice there is Import Data and Export Data, Copy Database options here. I'm going to choose the Import Flat File right here instead of going to the wizard. And let's choose Next. Where is the file? I'm going to browse to my SQL Server folder and choose it. The new table is going to be let's say CSV data from SSMS. Schema is DBO is fine. Let's go ahead and preview our data that's coming in. Looks pretty good, and it's already picked the column headers for us too. Let's choose next. To modify the columns, again, notice that the zip code is decided it's an integer. The email is actually picked nvarchar 100 this time by itself. I'm going to change this to be nvarchar 50. And do you want to set any of these as primary key? No, I don't. So I'm going to choose next. And let's go ahead and click finish. All right, click close. And I'm going to right click this and choose refresh. And I have this one now, which I can right click and choose edit or select the top 1000 rows. And I got the same data, but this time it was done from inside SQL Server Management Studio. So this is how you can import flat files, CSV files, and you can see it's very easy, very straightforward. I prefer to do it directly from inside SQL Server Management Studio, but doing it from the wizard allows you to create a package, which is nice in case this is something that you want to run on a regular basis. That's it for this lesson. Thank you for being a great audience. Please share your knowledge with everyone, and if you're enjoying these videos, please share them with your friends and loved ones.